Hi, this is Joe again with another review. Can't believe that today I'm doing 3 reviews today. Concerning this video, I know previously I have discussed the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving show on my YouTube channel here. Check out the review if you haven't seen it. But for this review, we're talking about some of the criticisms of the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. A couple of them I've already done in my original review of that show. For Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. But here we're going to really get into some criticism, especially because of the fact that Apple TV, or Apple Plus, the streaming service, has now bought the rights to all the Charlie Brown specials. And what's sad is that people who can afford these streaming services or don't have the technology to stream this stuff, I'm talking about poor families and stuff like that, who can't afford this stuff, they have to do it without watching these shows. And what's sad is, excuse me for a minute, I had to answer this stupid message on my phone here in the middle. What happened was that because of public threat, because they bought the rights, or Apple Plus streaming service bought the rights for the Charlie Brown specials, or all the Peanuts, but from ABC, they did not air. Nobody, for the first time ever, in 54 years, nobody saw the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown show, and it was such a huge outrage, uproar over it, because the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown aired every single year since 1966 when it was first debuted. So every year for like 53, 54 years, it aired on television, either CBS originally and then ABC for the last 20 years. This year, in 2020, this year wasn't bad enough. They decided not to air the Charlie Brown Great Pumpkin because Apple Plus has the rights to air it. Now, the same thing for Charlie Brown Thanksgiving and Charlie Brown Christmas. But since there was such an uproar online from Facebook and Twitter and people making petitions, the Apple Plus let PBS show, or PBS for Kids channel, air the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. And they're also going to do the same thing for the Charlie Brown Christmas when that comes, and about a couple of weeks. But getting back to Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, of course, now Charlie Brown Thanksgiving is getting now more and more politically incorrect with the Me Too, well, not really so much the Me Too movement, but for the Black Lives Matter movement. And even though the Black Lives Matter hasn't really make much of a stink yet, but I'm saying the politically correct nuts will make a huge thing of this show, just because there's one particular scene towards the end of the episode. Of course, if you want to see my full review of it, check out my full review on that video. The real complaint is that there's one scene where, of course, that there is one one black kid in the Charlie Brown universe. His name is Franklin. He was an okay character. I mean, he didn't really do anything all that great on the series, except for being just the only black kid in the Peanuts universe. And because Charles Schultz was pretty much forced to make a black kid because there wasn't any black, because the Peanuts version when they started in the 1960s, the specials, and then the 70s, and there wasn't any black kids on Charlie in the Charlie Brown universe. So he made Franklin. And the scene is that they're at the dinner table in the backyard, and Franklin is sitting on one side on the left side of the table, and on the right side of the table, all the white kids are on the other side. And so you had Linus, Pam and Pally, Sally, Marcy, and Charlie Brown were all one side of the table, even though Marcy was at one end of the table, on the lower end of the table, on the TV screen, and Linus was at the head of the table on the upper part of the screen, and Franklin was on the left side of the screen, sitting all by himself. Nobody was sitting next to Franklin, or sitting on Franklin's side of the table, on the left side of the table, other than Franklin. So they call that racist. It took him almost 50 years. I mean, that special is 7 years old now this year, and only the last couple of years, that's 3 or 4 years, people have really been complaining about that scene. But unfortunately, there's one scene that very few people have been complaining. That's the number one scene that people criticize, was that Franklin was on one side of the table, the token black kid, and all the white kids were on the other side of the table. That they complain over. But the second scene that most people complain over was the scene at the very end when Snoopy and Woodstock were eating a whole Thanksgiving dinner just by themselves, just the two of them. And Woodstock was a bird eating another bird, a turkey. Well, a turkey is a bird, right? So they say, Woodstock is a cannibal because he was eating another bird. But some people say, is that really cannibalism? Because a turkey is not a little yellow bird like Woodstock is. That's just lame bullshit. He was a cannibal. Let's be real. But the one scene that very few people ever complain about, they complain about those two scenes they just mentioned. When Franklin singing by himself and Woodstock eating, practicing cannibalism. The other scene that people don't really complain over was the scene where Sally yells within the first 5 minutes of the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Says, "I haven't even finished eating all my Halloween candy." How could she have Halloween candy when she never actually went trick or treating? Because the problem is that except for Christmas and Valentine's Day, there was never another Peanuts special on all the other holidays. Because Christmas, they have more than one special. I think they have about 3 or 4 specials with Christmas. With Valentine's Day, they have like 2 different specials. But for Easter, for Thanksgiving, and for Halloween, they only have they only made one special for those holidays, and they keep airing every single year for over 50 years. In the case of the Great Pumpkin, and almost 50 years for the Thanksgiving Charlie Brown show. And so you never actually saw Sally go trick or treating. You never see that. But the excuse that Peanuts gave, and first CBS and then ABC gave, was the Great Pumpkin originally aired in 1966. So they're not counting that it's aired every single year. They're counting the first time it aired, and the first time that Charlie Brown Thanksgiving aired was 1973, 7 years later. So you can say, 1973, when Charlie Brown Thanksgiving first aired, that was the year when Sally went Thanksgiving. When Sally first went trick-or-treating, I should say. But you never actually saw her. In the strips, maybe you see in the comic strip, but in the animated specials, you never actually saw that. Or on the old Charlie Brown Snoopy show, which aired on Saturday mornings, back in the 80s, you never saw her go trick or treating then either. So you never actually saw her. So how could she possibly have run trick or treating when you see the same shows every single year from 1966 on? You never saw her go trick or treat, which is just bullshit, and it's just real phony about. And those are the 3 criticisms of the show. Especially the last one is the one that they really should focus on, and they really don't. So that's my video of the criticisms of the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. I'm going to say Charlie Brown Thanksgiving Part 2, I guess. So let's click on my video. Please read it. Please subscribe to my channel. Please forward this video on your Facebook pages. You can check out all my views on my YouTube channel at rallyc.com. That's all WDY.com. There's a homepage in the Rally Reviewer, Christine Moore. And please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.